All right, namaste again, me lovelies. This is part number 2 on the spread. His story with you, his love story with you, which he never told you by this or that reason. If you did not see part number 1, I will leave the links in the description box if I don't forget. The last question which we looked at, which was the center of the spread, was the question about his, I'm sorry, okay, role. The role, what role did you ultimately play in his life story? This is where we finished it, so we are going to put these 3 cards here. I'm not going to close them because I would have to do the conclusion, and we still have a lot to cover because I wanted to cover this spread, his story with you. He never told you. Circumstances could be different. Question number 6, we still have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Question number 6, how did this connection, this is addition to that one, we are looking deeper into your role, your influence onto his inner world. I've said many times, and I've said this to many women, the number one thing you consider the most significant in your love story with your man, the most somehow significant thing you want is to start living together. Honey, can you get me a pound of potatoes, 5 lemons, a box of tissues? There is nothing bad in this. But I do not consider the marriage, or I do not consider 2 people start living together, the most significant and the most important part of what you called a love story. It's your role in his path, in his life journey, in his journey through life, in his journey to himself, because men sometimes throughout their whole life running from themselves because they are terrified to look deep inside. They say, I don't look deep inside. I detach myself from my inner self because I'm terrified what I see. Now, but your role in his inner world, in his path in life, in his relationship with himself, in his path to himself, know thyself, they say. This is the most important. If to put it in just several words, what you need to consider the most important in your love story with this man, whoever this man is. Did I manage to touch his heart and soul? Did I happen to help him find peace with himself? Did I happen to help him find the answers? What are you doing here? All right, give me a sec. Yes, so sorry about it. So how much did you manage with your presence in his life to help him find him in him, and to help him on his life and soul path? This is, in 2 words, how deeply you manage to touch his heart and soul. This is the most important. Not you start living together, you get married and have 5 children. If you can still touch a man deeply while living with him and having 5 children, wonderful. But it's not the most important. The most important, what did you manage to help him see and understand? So, next question, you know that I talk too much, but this is how I am. All right, question number 6. How did this connection change him internally over time? Not kaboom, he met you yesterday and it happened in a week. This did not happen in a week. This happened, this is an old story. I don't think this story lasted weeks. That story lasted for some time. And we see the 3 of Cups, and we see the same thing. We see 3 of Cups and 5 of Cups, emotions and feelings and emotions. I'll try to be short because if I start talking, I will be talking. But I really wanted this specific reading, his story with you, to be deep and fully explained. So you stop fooling yourself that he never cared, fooling yourself you loved somebody who never loved you, fooling, it depends. Listen to your intuition, your high priestess. So, 3 of Cups and 5 of Cups. Look how contradicting these cards are. First, you taught him both emotional joy and emotional grief, because we have 2 cups cards. The cups are connected with water. Excuse me. Cups connected with water. I'm losing my voice. And cups connected with emotions and feelings. Both emotional joy and emotional grief at the same time, simultaneously. Right here, the emotional joy, emotional warmth, again feeling of connection with you, him feeling happy because of your presence in his life. Also, you taught him to feel emotions again, and you taught him to feel happy because him feeling emotions, not to get scared of them and run away from them. He felt alive, emotionally understood, emotionally alive. She feels me. She senses me. She makes me smile. She makes my heart tremble with joy. I feel alive. And next to it, regret, sorrow, emotional loss. With all the cards we're looking at, very possible you both married to other people, or one of you, maybe you are married, he's not, or he is married, you're not, but looks like you guys did not have something ordinary. What do I mean ordinary? You know, you started working in this IT company. He worked on the 5th floor. You work on the 4th floor. You met in the lunchroom. You started speaking. You went out for dinner, to the movies, like a normal, easy development of, no. There were either inner walls in you and him, or just in him, or in both of you, and outer worlds, you know, like it could be all kinds of circumstances. Maybe he is, I don't know, the owner of the IT company and he owes, maybe he's a quadrillionaire, maybe he's in Forbes magazine on, I don't know, 1st place, and maybe he I had the story like this. He was a top neurological surgeon. You won't believe it. It's a story I probably will tell you at one point. She was cleaning the floors in that hospital. It was a top surgeon, arrogant, narcissistic, cold as freaking sword. And it doesn't matter in life where he's standing and you're standing. It's inner world and influence. And the homeless person on the street asking you for a piece of bread can give you the answers to all your questions, which you've never found these answers. So it was not easy there. Still not easy, probably. So right here is a regret. There is sorrow. There is emotional loss. Like, I could have had all this with her, but I can't. There is these two cards show you the awareness that he cannot, their circumstances are such that he cannot bring it fully into reality. Again, you, like a yesterday's story of twin flames, insanely powerful couple, insanely powerful, but they are in such circumstances and in such country where they can't do absolutely nothing but deeply loving each other. So it's a regret. I cannot bring this joy I feel into the reality 100%. I cannot make this reality for myself and for her. Besides all the fears you awaken in him, all the inner fears. But our question is, how did this connection change him internally over time? You softened him significantly, emotionally softened him. But also you made him aware of the consequences which he has to deal with because he didn't have the courage to tell you everything we've been discussing in this reading. So it's both a treasure and a pain. My power, my pleasure, my pain. That song. You're his power, his pleasure, his pain. You are a source of his joy, you are a source of his sadness, you're a source of his inspiration, you're a source of his pain, source of what he could have been, source of it cannot be because of this and this and this and this. All of this. Let's move forward. Question number 7. I'm out of water. Question number 7. What was the greatest fear? Because we do know there is tons of fear in him. What was the greatest fear or obstacle on his side? And holy guacamole, as some people say. In my book, there is a chapter called The 15th Arcana. And I consider that's the best thing I've written. And I've written lots of things. I could write way more things if I don't know, I write very little or none. Question: what was the greatest fear or obstacle, or greatest fear and obstacle on his side? How do I quickly explain you, devil, so I don't speak till the end of time? Obsession. Devil is a serious obsession, never enough. Like in that song, never enough of you. No matter how much he thinks or observes or processes things connected with you in him, how many months or years have passed by, it's a deep attachment, and there is a man and woman connected with a red thread. Obsession, uncontrollable attachment, dependency, codependency. It's a fear. Please remember the question. You always read the cards in connection with the question. This is his greatest fear, an obstacle from his side. It's not the fear of feeling, yes, it is a fear to become too much attached, to become too much dependent, to become obsessed, or he already became obsessed. Loss of emotional freedom, desire, sexual desire here is also very visible. But the biggest thing, because we have the Page of Swords here, the loss of control, because devil forces you lose control. Again, the question is what was or is, or was and is his greatest fear towards you, towards your connection. Fear of become too much attached, too much obsessed, to lose his emotional freedom. I feel too much to her, I have to control it. The desire, the sexual desire. And again, fear of losing control. His fear of losing control is number one fear, and my neighbors are screaming. So again, he tries to control the devil by being over-analyzing this connection with you. He's watching himself like a hawk, watching himself constantly, but also devil tells him there can be consequences. You see, my love, you are Tower with High Priestess. This is from the part 1. Unpredictability of yours is adding to his fear. So it's simply, if we put it in several words, if I fully let myself dive in it, it's gonna destroy me, what will happen to me then? The fear of emotional intensity became the reason of his very strong rational control. This man still tries to rationalize this thing, which part of him already knows and understands. We saw it already, that it's not really happening, but this is how he keeps control over devil. I can tell you this is extremely hard to control a devil energy. Extremely hard. But he's looks like successful at that. So what was his greatest fear? Our obstacle, this. If I let it in, if I let myself go in, if I go into it, I will become too attached. I will become obsessed. I will lose my inner freedom, emotional freedom. I want this too much. I fear of losing myself or not being able to control it, to deal with it. And of course, Your unpredictability, Tower and High Priestess, he doesn't know how to deal with you. You see, you are this unpredictable life force, the tornado, and fiery tornado, I have a nickname. And he doesn't know if he does it, will he be able to predict you? Not really. Will he be able to predict your next step, your next word? It's a control freak, and he knows he can't. So he prefers to keep it under the cover. Next question, let's move forward, already 20 minutes. What did he lose? Or how to tell you, what do I mean? What did he lose or feel he's lost through this connection? What do I mean with this question? If this story was some time ago, for some of you could be a year ago, for some of you can be 14 years ago or 20 years ago. So it could be that he moved to Australia, got married, has 5 children, and posts very happy photos of himself on social media. You look at him, he bought himself an airplane, 75 cars he has in his garage, and the collection of, I don't know, his wife has a collection of diamond necklaces, his kids, I don't know, something else. On a social media, it looks all good. And you think it's all good, but you feel that something is not exactly the same how he tries to show it. So whether it was a year ago, it was 75 years ago, 30 years ago, the question is, what did he lose or he feels he lost because you are not in his life? You are not part of his physical life. You are, oops, always something. You are not, okay, did I screw something? Probably not. You are not a part of his physical life. So what did he lose or he feels I've lost it because she is not with me, because we are apart? Sun and Page of Cups. Most of readers wouldn't see nothing bad, but we ask the question, what did he lose or he feels he lost through this connection? You were his true joy, and we already saw it. Maybe you still are his true joy. The sun is joy, but the sun shines. The sun is warmth and your authenticity. You're really authentic. You don't fake nothing, especially if you're connected with, if your main planet is the sun, means you are a Leo like myself, or you are Sagittarius or Aries. But if you're something else, it doesn't matter. You're authentic. But right here we see Page of Cups, what it is in inner world. Innocence, emotional innocence, emotional softness. So he lost a chance of being emotionally open and be safe while doing this. What he had with you, never he had with anyone before you or after you. With you, he knew and he knows there is a possibility for him, an opportunity for him of emotionally honest connection. No games are needed. No bravados are needed. No fake things are needed. No masks are needed. No, none of that shit are interested. You are interested in because you're a son. There is this emotional openness and some even innocence, because you don't play and you don't need him to play either. It's something emotionally so beautiful, but he lost it because it remained unfinished, because he never told you this story. We're looking at he never told you. Okay. 3 questions left. Question number 9. This is really sad. What place this connection hold in his inner world right now, at the moment of you watching this video, at the moment of us speaking? What place does this connection hold in his inner world now? This is 2 most tragic cards we see in this spread. We already saw this here. The emotional burden. I already explained this to you in part 1. We see this tragic repetition of this card, and even more tragic 5 of Pentacles. He still cares a lot. It still holds significant pain and heaviness for him, but he shows it to absolutely no one. The tragic thing that I don't think not just he didn't tell you any of this, he didn't tell nobody of this. Nobody knows, not even closest friend or I don't know, anyone. Probably no one knows about it. It's a man who is working insanely hard by guarding himself emotionally. He still controls it, but he is exhausted. In several words, this card can be explained like, I still hold this, and this way I believe I protect myself and my structure of life. But 5 of Pentacles next to it makes it really sad. Loneliness, feeling of a loss of something extremely significant. You know how 5 of Pentacles looks on a classical deck. Loneliness and feeling separated from someone extremely meaningful. This connection lives inside him. It keeps on being extremely emotionally painful and extremely emotionally important. He could not distance himself from it. No, it's not left behind. It's not erased. It's contained inside under the rigid control and not resolved. And it's still living out there. This is so sad. Question number 10. What truth about you and him would he tell you now if he let himself speak completely honestly. My love, I'm so goddamn tired. My love, I'm so out of peace. I need peace. I need to be able to breathe. I'm so exhausting. I need a way for this to exist, for this thing we have with each other. I need to find the way of this to exist, but without destroying everything. What truth about you and him would he tell you if he could speak honestly, completely? It's so hard for me to handle. I'm just withdrawing myself. I keep silent. I try to give myself the emotional rest. But without you, I'm alive, but I'm not alive. I'm dead. I feel dead without you. And yet, I want to try to build something with you in real world. You see, I already explained you this card many times. There is Notre Dame de Paris, which is half built, and this man keeps on building it. Pentacles is real world. He does want to have some real communication with you, some interaction, but at the same time, he doesn't know how to, because if he starts openly communicating with you again, that he believes that his structure is going to collapse. But the question is, what would he speak, tell you? I want to have cooperation. I want to have interaction. I want to have communication with you, connection with you, but in such a way that it's not going to break down anything. He would tell you, I'm so exhausted to handle this chaos in me. I need to find the way to have what we have in real world, but in such manageable form that I still have control. But I'm so exhausted and I'm so tired that it tortures me for so long. And the last question. I just hear your question. So did he love me? Does he love me? You want me to tell you yes? There is Two of Cups here. Yes, he did love you and he does love you now. But honestly, if he loved you less, if he cared less, maybe you would be able to build some communication with each other. But with this amount of everything between you, and let's not even go into past lives. This is an old story, ancient story, nothing ordinary about story. The question number 11, the last one. What is the final lesson? Final at this point of us speaking. What is the final lesson or meaning of this story both of you need to learn? What is the lesson of this whole story for you? And what is the lesson of this story for him? Let's see, for both of you. Four of Cups. Again, we're having a man with emotional torture, emotional dissatisfaction, the emotional hunger which he doesn't fulfill, the control, the not taking of the gift of God's, but because he's afraid to lose control. Again, next to it is a Chariot. Control, 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 discipline, 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 direction, control. Two opposing forces. You two are on the different banks of the river. There is an expression which I say very often: we serve different gods together. Some love stories, some connections are meant to become ordinary life stories. They met, they started dating, then they got married, then they had children, then children grew up, children got married, got grandchildren, that's it. Some love stories never end. Some love stories are meant to become ordinary. Nothing ordinary about this. What you have here with him, it's not just nothing ordinary about it, but it exists not just for both of your emotional awareness, growth, self-knowledge, but also inspiration for the others. Nothing ordinary about it. So it's not a simple romantic story, but a very inordinary story. Two people, like two forces, they meet and they affecting each other in such depth which the words can't even describe. Affecting each other internally and deeply. When life demands control from him or from you or from both of you, but the chariot has a nickname which is a breakthrough. Moving forward from the step 1 to the step 25. Jump through. Spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, mentally, it's a breakthrough for both of you. It's not just he got affected deeply, but you got affected deeply. So the lesson here is to embrace this love story instead of trying to devalue it because it didn't become ordinary love story, because it didn't become so we just met and then just we got married, or we didn't get married, we started to live together and then this. Embrace it, accept it as it is without trying to cut it, kill it, freeze it, devalue it because you didn't start living together. Because have you deeply touched his heart, soul, the way he feels, the way he sees, the way he does, the way he acts, the way he inspires himself and others? Yes. And this is the most important, what you need to understand about this story. So this, my beautiful queens, is everything about his story with you. And I hope it was helpful for some of you at least. If you need to get in touch with me, everything is in the description box. I'm thanking you for your attention. My voice is really going away and I have to finish my my blueberry pie. Namaste and love to all of you.